Yo, what's going on, everyone? City Boy Barbecue here with another episode of Taste the City.
Episode 10, we have another special episode with guest Chef Damo and guest host Ebony. Ebony's here for the second time, so we're excited. Can't wait for you guys to see it.
You heard what he said. This is episode 10. So by now, you should know the sauce goes on everything. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. It's gonna get crazy inside.
Boom.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Taste the City. I'm your host, Ebony Chapman. I'm here with private chef Damo. Girl, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. I am so excited to get into the dish that she has prepared for you guys. Okay, and of course we're gonna be incorporating the City Boy barbecue sauce. But y'all, they got 2 flavors now, okay? Original and City Heat. So y'all, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay, you guys, so we're back. We got our aprons on. Okay, y'all see the branding. Okay,
Cookmeat Culinary Services.
Absolutely. So
at
y'all
your
call
service
her.
today.
Call her if y'all need anything. So we're getting ready to cook the steak. Now, what part, what kind of steak is this?
So my preference, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, it's always going to be ribeye. Okay, ribeye has the fat, it has the marbling that you need. That the meat is gonna stay moist and tender and flavorful.
Okay, I love that. Okay, in fact, tell everybody what we are preparing, really.
So today we are gonna do a reverse sear ribeye. I marinated this ribeye with original flavor of City Boy Barbecue. So this has marinated for a day or two.
That's how you really get the juices soaking in
yeah,
there. You really start to feel the flavor.
Exactly,
you feel it in your spirit.
Exactly. You want to marinate for at least an hour to make sure that those flavors have penetrated. I decided to use the original just because it's a lot of flavor profiles I already use when I season my steak, so it just made sense. You know what I mean?
And I feel like a lot of people don't really marinate steak with barbecue sauce necessarily.
No, they don't. They don't, but it works. And if it works, then you go with it. You know what I mean? So this has been marinated, and I used, like I said, the original.
Did you put any other spices or anything else in there?
Yes, so I used a sweet mesquite dry rub.
A little smoky flavor. Love that.
Exactly, to pair well with the barbecue sauce. Also, when you're marinating meat, you don't want to use salt because salt is going to pull all the moisture out of the steak.
Oh, that's a good tip right there. Pro tip. I did not know that. Pro tip.
Don't use salt. You can use whatever other spices, but salt you don't really want to do. So I just used some simple garlic powder, some sweet mesquite, the City Boy barbecue, and then I also prepared some infused oil with garlic. So this is an infused garlic oil. I also use that.
Right up my alley. Right up my alley. I love that.
Yeah. So this has already been marinated for us, and so we're just gonna put this in the oven at 250 for about 30 to 40 minutes. You want to check it because you don't want to cook it too much.
So we have a meat thermometer. We're getting ready for that.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we need to prep ourselves. Let's wash our hands. Let's get some gloves on, and let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay, you guys, we've got the gloves on. We're ready. Okay, so what's the best way to cook the steak? I know we already put it in the oven, but what's the best way? Another pro tip, okay?
Pro tip, basically with this reverse sear, what we're doing is we're par cooking it. So we're cooking it and getting it up to temperature of about 130, 135. I like to use a roasting rack so the meat can get an even cook on it. And then we're gonna finish it here on the stovetop.
Okay,
get a nice hot sear on it.
I think that's what I've been doing wrong, okay? Because I don't really cook steak at all. And so when you're cooking even chicken or fish or something and you get that burntness or it's just not all the way evenly cooked all the way through, it's the roasting rack.
Yeah, the roasting rack is a major key to cooking a lot of different proteins because it just lets the air and the heat of the oven cook it evenly versus if it's on a pan, the bottom is gonna cook very, very quickly because the bottom of that pan is gonna get really hot, right? So the roasting rack, yeah, you need one.
Need one.
Girls,
get
go
yourself
get one.
Go get yourself one. Look like a pro in the kitchen. Okay, so we're gonna also be making some Cajun green beans.
Yes.
So what do you want me to be doing with the Cajun green beans, Chef Damo?
So what we're gonna be doing here is cutting the ends off.
Okay.
So we're just literally, I'll
Yeah,
demonstrate.
demonstrate, and then I'll take
demonstrate
over.
a little bit, but literally we're just cutting off these ends. Your grandmother probably snapped them off. We ain't about to be snapping all these off individually. Like,
Make it easy on yourself.
Yeah. So then we're just getting this out the way. And so literally, yeah, we're just cutting the ends off of them.
Okay, love that. That makes
Mm-hmm.
it easy. Okay, so then if we're doing a Cajun seasoning,
Mm-hmm.
what other seasonings are we going to be putting on these green beans?
So Cajun, I'm trying to get it a little bit of spice. So we're gonna use an actual Cajun seasoning. We're gonna use a little bit, I like to use onion powder. Everybody doesn't like to actually eat onions, but the onion powder will still give you that onion flavor. A little bit of garlic powder, and of course, salt and pepper. Simple, some butter, some oil in the pan, a little bit of chicken stock to finish it off, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, that makes it easy. Okay, so I see that you have salt, and then you have like 2 different kinds of pepper in there. So what would be the reason for doing 2 different kinds of pepper?
Because I'm just bougie like that.
Okay.
And I just,
And
you
ain't
know,
nothing wrong with that, okay?
I
We
just
love a little
like to
bougie
have
in the kitchen.
a variety of peppers on hand, you know.
Because I feel like when it's not so fine, it gives it a more spice. Like you can really taste the pepper flavor.
It's more
so
rustic.
Yeah.
It gives it a rustic vibe for sure. I also have some fresh minced garlic. Another pro tip. I see y'all using the jarred garlic.
Is that not oh yeah, no, you got to use the fresh.
Get you some fresh garlic and cut it up, okay? Because it makes a difference, trust me, okay? I hope y'all are really listening to me here.
We're on pro tip number 3 if y'all not following. Okay, but so tell me like where you got your inspiration from, like cooking, like what made you want to become like a private chef? Like what excites you about food in the kitchen?
Honestly, my mom, who's over there today,
Love
my
it.
mom,
Hey, Mom.
my mom is a single mom, working a lot, and I just always wanted to be in the kitchen with her. It was our time together, you know. Even if we was busting down some rice-a-roni and hamburger helper, it was like me just still getting acquainted with the kitchen, and I just always enjoyed cooking. And at the time when I decided to go to culinary school, I had recently got fired from my government job. And
Listen, okay, a struggle will get you right, okay?
yeah,
Yes.
I was, you know, calling off work and not wanting to go because I hated every day of my life. And I just decided instead of just going and getting another job, I just really wanted a career in something that I would stick with. And it's crazy because I'm coming up on 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, we're not playing around with y'all. We got professionals in the kitchen right now, okay? Like, we're not playing.
Yeah, I went to culinary school in 2014, and I'm like, it's supposed to be 10 years already?
Where did the time go?
Yeah, I went to Le Cordon Bleu in Pasadena. It's no longer there. You know, hopefully they get rid of these student loans that I got. But yeah, I went there. I enjoyed it very much. I graduated with honors. It was really a fun time for me going to culinary school and learning. I love to learn.
Absolutely love that. I mean, I think that like half the time you hear those stories about like your grandma, like your mom in the kitchen. It's definitely a good family bonding time. Definitely something that really people gather around the kitchen to kind of like share stories and, you know, share what's going on, have that kitchen table talk. You know what it is. So, I mean, food really is the gatherer of all. Okay, hey guys, now we're getting ready to start the Cajun green bean. Chef Damo, take it over. What are we doing? What's the first step?
Okay, so first we're gonna get a little bit of oil in our pan. We're just gonna get a little bit of that going. I need you to cut me about that much of butter.
Okay.
Like about a tablespoon.
We eyeballing things over here,
Right.
y'all. So y'all need to, it's love. We cook with love here.
Exactly, we don't measure.
Okay.
We don't measure stuff. So this is just gonna melt a little bit for us. Grab my tongue real quick.
Perfect.
This gets nice and melted.
Do we wait for it to get like golden brown or anything, or we just throw the green beans in? Okay.
No. Okay, so then you want to toast some of this garlic, get this aromatic going.
Okay, so I get nervous sometimes when I use garlic, fresh garlic, in the pan at first before I even put any of the ingredients in because I don't want to burn the garlic. So what is the tip to not burn the garlic?
Just don't have the pan too hot.
Don't okay.
You know, you can use fresh garlic. Don't be scared. I see a lot of people that just love raw vegetables, but the thing is, vegetables really come to life when you put heat to them. They need heat to come alive. So you smell that?
I smell it, girl.
Okay.
It smells really good.
Let's get these green beans in here.
Right All the ones that I
Perfect.
chopped so beautifully, guys.
Yes,
I'm such
you
a
did such a
professional.
great
Such a
job.
professional.
Such a great job getting these ends off of here. Okay, so yeah, we literally just toss these around. Now I'm gonna have you add, this is Cajun seasoning.
Okay, do we do a pinch? We doing the whole thing? What are we doing?
I'll tell you when.
Okay,
to
tell
stop.
me when.
I'll
Tell me
you.
when. Here we go.
Another one.
Little
Okay,
something
that's
else?
good.
Okay.
That's good.
Now,
You
is
want-
it spicy? It smells
It got a little, it got
Little
some
kick?
cayenne in there.
Little kick to it.
Yeah, it got some kick to it. Let's get some pepper in there.
okay.
You can decide
Which
which
one?
pepper you want to use.
Okay, we're gonna do the bougie pepper. We're doing the
let's
bougie
do
pepper.
the bougie one.
Yes, bougie pepper.
Perfect.
Love it.
Perfect. Let's get a little bit of granulated garlic powder.
Like we're doing the fresh garlic, the garlic powder. Y'all about to
Perfect.
taste this garlic in
It's-
here, okay?
It's about to be busting, okay? So you literally just want to saute these up, let them get about, 5 minutes in the pan. And then once you are ready to kind of soften them up a little bit, I personally like to add a little bit of chicken stock. This is another pro tip. Why use water when you can use chicken stock?
Right, gotta have a little bit extra flavor because I use water sometimes because, I be having the pan too hot. I be moving quick.
Yeah,
Stuff's burning. I'm like, uh-oh, like we gotta add the water in it. Okay.
Get some chicken stock in there instead of water. It's gonna give whatever it is that you're preparing a little bit extra flavor. And if you don't like chicken, you don't eat chicken, you can always use veggie stock. Way better than water.
Way better than water. Okay, so another pro tip. I think we're on pro tip number 4 or number 5. I hope y'all are keeping track, okay?
They're limitless. They're just gonna keep coming out.
Keep coming out. Okay, I love that. So how long do we keep these on the stove?
So literally, you just want these, and I know y'all like to tussle, because colored people like to cook their vegetables until they're soft. We don't do that.
We want a
okay?
little crisp, a little
We want
crunch
a
to
little bit
'em.
of crisp to our vegetables. So these are literally, this is like the fastest thing. These are gonna cook so quick, and then you're just gonna put them to the side, and we're gonna work on everything else. So these take about 10 to 15 minutes, obviously, like not long at all.
Okay, I'm absolutely taking notes because I definitely put mine on way longer than that.
Yeah, no. They're gonna cook up nice. It'll be perfect.
I
in
love
about
this.
15
New
minutes.
way to cook my green beans. I'm
Yeah.
very excited. Okay, so let's move on to what else we are preparing today.
We're also gonna do a twice baked potato. So let's get into that.
Okay, you guys, I'm so excited for this steak that we have in the oven, and now we're gonna get to the sides. We gotta make the twice baked potato. So Chef Damo, what do we have? How do we create that twice baked potato?
Right, okay. So first and foremost, you want to clean your potato thoroughly. I'm talking about with a sponge, a scrub. Scrub it, get all that dirt off of there.
We're getting the scrub, we got the soap. What we doing? How do we scrub it clean?
No soap, but just water and some elbow grease. Scrub all the dirt off of the potato. And then I like to get it oiled up, poke some holes in it, sprinkle it with some salt and pepper, get it wrapped up in some foil, get it in the oven at 400 degrees.
Okay.
Now, depending on the size of your potato, your cook time will vary. So sometimes you will need to keep these in the oven a little bit longer, pop them back in the oven. It just really all depends.
How do we kind of check the tenderness of the potato? Like, is it
With
just
a fork.
Okay.
You can poke it. If the fork goes in nice and easy and smooth, then it's basically done. If you're having a little bit of tension, it probably
Needs
needs
a little
to
more
bake.
time.
Yeah,
Needs
it needs a little bit more love in the oven. So these I've already prepped. We're just gonna go ahead
And
and
we poked the holes, we rubbed it down with that garlic oil she makes.
yes,
Okay.
with the garlic oil,
Yum.
salt and pepper.
Okay.
And so yeah, we're literally
Let's
just
take the potato. Here, I'll give you that.
Perfect.
We cut it in half, and then we are just going to scoop the potato
Yes.
right into this bowl. Right
and
here.
then what I'm also gonna do, this potato's hot, so this mixture is gonna be hot. Keep in mind, you probably will have a little bit of extra mixture left over just because you're adding ingredients to this potato, So we're gonna be adding some sour cream, we're gonna be adding some cheese, some butter, some green onions, bacon if you like bacon, bacon.
Or you could
is-
do the little fake bacon. They got the vegan bacon out. I mean, it's not the same, but I mean, if that is on your diet plan, like, I'm just trying to help them out.
Child, bacon is good for me, okay? Bacon is good for me and bacon is good for you. But to each their own. You don't have to use bacon if you don't want to, So you can just cook that on the side, add it later versus adding it into the mixture. You can just add it on top for your pork eaters.
But right now, we eating the bacon. I hear you.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's put, what else?
So
What are we
we're
putting
gonna
in there?
get a little bit of butter in there. And also too, a mistake that a lot of people make, whether it's mashed potatoes, whatever you're doing with potatoes, you need to, whatever liquid that you're adding, it needs to be warm. Because what happens is when you add cold, it makes the potatoes tense back up. And then your potatoes are not as creamy or get that consistency that you would really, really like.
Again, another thing I'm doing wrong. Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get some half and half. I like to use half and half. You can use milk, you can use heavy cream, but you know, some of y'all stomachs, you know.
A little tight.
Yeah.
Am I
so-
using all the sour cream or just a little
So
bit?
you wanna eyeball it, but
Eyeball
yeah,
a little bit.
yeah, it's really to your liking. We're gonna warm a little bit of this half and half up.
That. Okay, what else are we putting in? Salt and pepper?
Yes.
Gotta have the salt and pepper.
Yes, potatoes are very starchy and very bland, so you definitely want to make sure that you're seasoning them well. Or
Doing that bougie pepper again. Okay,
Yes.
we're doing the bougie pepper.
Bougie pepper, good. Okay. Let's go ahead and also get some granulated garlic in there. What I also like to do, if you're trying to be fancy, you know, Valentine's Day is literally around the corner. You can always roast some whole cloves of garlic. Makes great oil, and you also have this creamy garlic that you can add into your potatoes or add into pasta, whatever you want
What
to
is
add
that? A
into.
little garlic confit? What is that? What is that? Is that the same
It's
thing?
basically the same thing.
It's very TikTok trendy right now. So
Yes.
if you guys are on it, you guys know.
TikTok, look, TikTok be.
Okay, so what
exactly.
else do we do with the potatoes now that they're kind
So-
of mixed in with the sour cream and the salt, the pepper, the
Yes.
garlic powder?
Yes, and so we also have some chive that we're gonna throw in there, a little bit of chive.
Okay.
And then we're also going to do some shredded cheese. I like to do 2 shredded cheeses. That one right there is an extra sharp cheddar.
You love extra sharp.
Extra sharp cheddar.
Okay, so you want me to grade this one a little
yeah.
bit?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's get that
All right, y'all.
going.
Let's see my little grading skills. I feel like this can't be that hard.
No, it's not. It's not. And what I would always do, first of all, I love this grater. I feel like I got it from Costco, but I like that it collects the cheese at the bottom.
Definitely
so
makes
then
it easy.
takes a lot of fuss out of the cheese. And I love grating cheese because I like to eat pieces while I'm grating.
Girl, the little snacky in between
Exactly.
cooking. That's why by the time you're done cooking for real, you're not even hungry.
Yeah, I
'Cause I'm
never eat.
Right, because you already ate. That's what it
Yeah,
is. You
I
already
never
had your
eat.
full meal.
Exactly. I never eat because I'm smelling, you know, I'm tasting
Tasting,
as I go. So
Make sure y'all have the tasting spoon together, okay? And don't be double dipping, because
don't
that
double
ain't it.
dip. That's not
Okay.
it.
Okay, I'm gonna have you undo that.
Okay, so we're literally just adding this in there. And the more cheese, the merrier. You can never.
The potatoes I feel like are about to be super smooth, super
They
creamy.
are. You can never have too much cheese, and you can never have too much butter.
I'm so excited because you know I've never made these types of potatoes before, and I
I
see
got
them all the
you.
time again
Yes.
on TikTok, and I'm like, oh, they just look so good. So
I
I'm
got
really
you.
excited.
So now our half and half has warmed up. So we're also gonna add a little bit of this in there. And you want to eyeball your half and half. You don't want to put too much because you don't want runny potatoes, right? So we're just gonna add a little bit of that and incorporate. And then if we need to add more, we will as we go.
Okay. And again, I feel like as a private chef, you have to have crazy stories. Either something that was funny, like you had.
Technique is what sets you apart from everybody else. So, I mean, of course, there's been times I'm just really, for me, it's time management. Like that's the hardest thing for me.
You be burning something a little bit and be like, oh, I forgot to come back to it.
No,
Okay.
no, like just
Because that would definitely be me.
No, just when I say time management, I just mean like I'm taking too long. You know what I mean? Like people are hungry. Like and it's
They expect you to
also-
be restaurant ready. 20 minutes, let's go together.
And that's the thing too, is like people watch television and they think meals are made in 30 minutes. And it's like, no, like even the simplest dish can take hours if you're putting love and intricacy into
So how
it.
much like prep time are you putting into your dishes
I mean,
before you go to these like private events?
literally, what's that meme? It costs that much because it takes me hours. Like literally, there's so much that goes into getting a meal onto a plate, and that's what I kind of wish people would take more time to understand. Even at a restaurant, you know, like I've been sitting here you're getting a fresh plate.
Right.
But for me, I have to go shop. I have to list everything. Like there's so much that goes
Look,
into the
cooking
meal.
ain't easy, okay?
It's not.
I love it.
It's good. Okay. So then once we get this mixed up, we're just gonna transport it back to the shell.
Okay,
Once we get it back in the shell,
then we're gonna bake it again.
we're gonna put it back in the oven. We're gonna top it with a little bit more cheese. Put it back in the oven for about 15-20 minutes on 350 and they'll be good to go.
Oh, that's the twice baked right there.
Twice
Y'all see that?
baked,
Okay,
you
I'm
know?
gonna try to. Oh my God. So
That
good.
the cheese, you know, the cheese and the sour cream is gonna
Bring it
all
together.
come
Bring it together. Okay, you guys, so now we have the steak. We pulled the steak out of the oven. It's been in there for like 30 minutes. And so now we're getting ready to pan sear it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
The main event is here.
Main event,
What
y'all.
all came to see this City Boy barbecue marinated ribeye. So first we want to start off. So as you said, this was in the oven. You want to check this. You don't want to cook it too much because you want to finish it here on the stove. And I like my steak to be medium plus. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing no well done.
Right.
So
y'all get on it with the well done. If y'all on the well done, y'all need to get off that, okay? 'Cause
don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's
Just don't do that.
embarrassing. Don't embarrass me and you. Like, don't do that. So we just want to make sure that we have a really, really hot pan. That's what's gonna get us that nice sear on the steak. Make sure you heat the pan first, and then you're gonna add oil.
Okay. Do we need to jump back? Because, you know, sometimes hot oil be...
No, we're
Goes
good.
in
Yeah.
nice and smooth.
Yeah, so we just want to make sure that this pan is nice and hot before we put this down. Also, it's going to also help you.
Okay, y'all heard that.
What's also going to help you get that nice sear is the liquid. You have to dry this steak off.
Okay, another pro tip.
Yeah, because the moisture is going to kind of smother the steak versus sear it.
Okay, now we got it. Because listen, I be putting things in the pan, it be popping off, I get nervous,
Yes.
gotta turn it down, then it's not as hot. Like
Yeah, and it also helps when you pat this dry. All this fat that we have here, this is what's going to give flavor, and we also want to render the fat of the steak. So patting it dry, and also now is the time to add salt, right? Because we didn't put salt
add
earlier.
salt before. Okay,
Correct.
so let's let the people see the steak on
Child.
the. Okay, y'all see that steak right there with the
Perfect,
fat.
right?
Okay,
Perfect. So we're just gonna go ahead. I want you to go ahead.
do a little salt bay
A
on
little
it.
salt bay.
Okay.
Okay, so you know what you're doing. You
little
know,
bit.
You always want to start up high to get it even.
Okay, we
Let's-
do a little bit. Listen, I don't really cook steak, y'all already said that, so you
Right.
know this is scary for me. So
Let's
what we
go
doing?
ahead and put it down in the pan for me.
Do we put the salt side down?
Salt side down.
Okay.
You hear that? You hear
I
that's
hear
what
it
we wanna
sizzling.
hear.
That sounds good.
Right.
Did we salt the other side as
Yes.
well?
Let's salt the other side.
Wipe off no contaminations around here, okay? Little salt on
Let's
the
get a
other
little
side.
bit more. A little
Oh, a
bit
little
more.
bit more? Okay. Listen, I don't want anyone having high cholesterol in here. There we go.
Okay, and also let's put a little bit of our sweet mesquite seasoning on there also.
Now this is what I love because it's like even when you're not using like a barbecue pit or like a grill,
you can still get some
can
of that
still
barbecue
get
flavor.
That barbecue flavor, that smoky flavor, and I also think the City Boy barbecue sauce is gonna help bring all those flavors
It
in as
definitely
well.
is. It definitely is. I decided to use the original because it has Worcestershire sauce in it already, and I tend to normally cook my beef with that. It
Yeah.
just gives it a, you know.
Little chef's kiss.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. Chef Damo's kiss.
So literally, we're just searing this because the steak is pretty much almost done. We're just trying to get a nice color. You don't want to keep flipping this steak back and forth. Keep it on one side for a good 2 to 3 minutes and flip to the other side. And I'm also pressing down in the pan because I'm trying to make sure that it gets a nice even sear all around.
Okay, perfect. And even pressing it down, like it's not gonna dry it out or any of
No,
those things.
it's not. It's not. And I know y'all seeing smoke, but that's a good thing. That's
Right.
a good thing. That means that the pan is nice and hot and we're getting that nice sear on it that we would like to see.
Okay, I love it. And then, like, let's talk about the City Boy barbecue sauce that you
Right.
marinated in, and I'm sure we're gonna drizzle a little on top as well to kind of
Exactly.
bring in the flavors. So, what did you like? What did you like about working with the barbecue sauce?
I personally like that it wasn't too sweet because when it has a high sugar content, when I put it in this pan, it's going to burn. That sugar is going to hit the pan and burn so quickly. So it's actually really good for marinating and using in this way that I'm using it because I don't have to worry about that.
Right. So you can kind of like put it in the pan and kind of let it sit, and you don't have to, you know, because
Yeah.
I feel like you're saying if it has a high sugar content, you have
It's
to put it in
gonna
last
burn.
minute, so it's not
Yes,
burning in the
You're
pan
gonna
or
have
the
to
meat.
add some water. You're gonna have to add something to it because it's gonna brown. That sugar is gonna caramelize way too quicker than the meat is done cooking. And that's what
now
you
you
don't
get the
want.
unevenness right there.
Exactly.
Okay, I hope y'all taking notes because listen, this meal that your man's about to get, or your lady, listen.
Or your lady, because you know we like the meals to be made for us too.
Totally, we love a man or a woman or your partner to cook for you too.
Exactly,
You're the
exactly.
cooker in the family. You love for you to sit
Exactly.
back and relax a little bit too.
Who don't want that? Who don't want
want
that?
that? Right.
You know who don't want that? So also, let's see. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, you see what I'm talking about?
Not I
See what
love
I'm
me
talking about? That's what I'm
alone.
talking about right there.
Listen, I love me little crispy ends, little crispy edges. I like that on my
Exactly.
meat. I like that on my fish. I like it
On everything.
on everything. Put that on everything, okay? Yeah, just like you put the City Boy
Perfect.
barbecue sauce on everything, put that
Perfect.
on everything.
I'm also just gonna add a little bit of the mesquite on here, on this side, because you can never season too much, you know? And now that we're almost done cooking, I also like to just kind of finish it with a little bit of butter.
Okay. Oh, is
And-
this that trick you can, and then you spoon it on top? Okay, I love it.
And if you wanted to incorporate more garlic or you wanted to incorporate some herbs, you can always throw that in the pan also. So you just want to lean the pan towards you a bit, and you're just literally basting.
Basting the meat.
You're basting the meat with this butter.
First
this
of all-
is gonna add a little bit of more flavor. This is gonna keep the meat tender, juicy.
See, that would be my fear right there is drying out the steak. So this seems like a really good way to kind of render that situation, making sure that the
Exactly.
meat's still juicy.
Exactly.
And the smell and the flavor in here already smells amazing. You can smell the mesquite, you can smell the salt, you can smell the barbecue sauce. Like it just really smells like, are we about to get into this? I'm
Yes,
very,
we
very
are.
excited.
Yes, we are. So we're literally just gonna let this steak rest for a bit. That's another major key. You want to let your meat rest for a few minutes before just cutting into it. If I cut directly into this meat, all the juice and flavor is just gonna pour out.
Not all the juice that we just put back into
Exactly.
it. Okay.
And the whole point is we want that flavor and that juice to stay in this steak. So we're gonna let it rest for a bit and then we're gonna come back
So
and
do
cut
we
it.
take it out or like leave it in the hot pan?
No,
to rest?
I'm gonna, normally we would have this rest on a rack, but we can just have it rest right here.
right here. Boom. Okay, and how long we let it rest? Like 20 minutes?
We wanna let it rest for 8 to 10 minutes.
8 to 10 minutes.
I know that seems like a long time. I know y'all are hungry, but trust me, patience is key when cooking. Stop rushing, stop trying to make 30-minute meals happen. Let the flavor, let time do its thing when it comes to steak.
Okay, so if your man getting off at 5, you need to start cooking at 2:30.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
That's the key.
Okay, you guys, so we switched spots so Chef Damo could plate the steak for us and all of the sides that we make. I'm very excited to get into this food, you guys. Like, I am starving. The smells in the kitchen, the aroma, everything is just hitting. So, look at her. Okay, come on. So, do you cut on the bias? Like, look at me trying to act like a chef,
yeah,
okay?
somewhat. I do. And a lot of people don't like fat. I love the fat.
You like the
That's
fat?
like what? That's like my favorite part.
Really, girl? I can't get with it. I can't. Don't give me a
What?
piece
I
like
love
that.
it.
Mm-mm.
I love
I
it.
can't get with it.
So this is our sliced baked potato.
It looks good. Scrumptious.
Sliced baked potato here. We're gonna get this plated up. And don't mind if it didn't oozed out a little bit. That's fine, child. It's all getting ate up. Okay?
Right.
It's all getting ate up. Our green beans are finished. They have a nice crisp to them and a little bit of heat to
Listen.
go along with this city heat that I'm about to finish our steak off with. So I normally just like to plate up. And a lot of people don't like their food touching.
No, touch it all. We like to
It's
touch
all
it.
going down the same way, okay? It's all going down the same way. So then you just get your steak. Nice.
Ooh, so beautiful. That is a
Right?
hearty meal. Okay.
This is a meal for a man, okay? You only make this meal for a man you really feeling and you really care about. You can't just make this
for anybody. Nah,
He's
this
gonna
ain't
be
a
showing up at your doorstep, blowing you up.
Listen.
Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork.
Okay, I love it. So we about to have a city boy come in and come help us try this food. Come on, Daniel.
Get over
Yes,
here.
yes.
Come on, Daniel.
What's going on,
Get
girls?
over here. How are you?
Good. You guys have been doing a great job on this episode. This plate looks delicious. It's
Doesn't
definitely how to keep a man plate right here.
How to keep a man 101. That's what you need to title the episode.
I might want to marry both of you guys right now. My goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna try
Go
a
ahead,
piece of
get
this steak.
into it.
I'm gonna get into it.
That's so good. Okay.
Get into the.
Oh yeah.
How does that heat taste?
Yeah, you
on
already
it?
know. That's delicious.
City heat.
That's delicious. Obviously, it's cooked perfectly, right? And the sauce goes great with it. I'm gonna get one more slice with the sauce in it.
Right, and you gotta get the potato. Come on with
Oh no,
the potato.
I'm definitely gonna get the potato. Yeah, I love the sauce with it. I love the spice that the sauce has with it. You use the original, so it's not spicy, but it has spices from like the pepper and whatnot. And I like the way it works with it. And I like the consistency of the sauce with the steak. So it works wonderful. Of course, you knew what you were doing anyway, so it's gonna be good regardless.
Right, let's
But
be professional.
we're all excited. Me, Mike, and Dave were talking about the double baked potato. All these fancy chef words, reverse seared steak, double baked potato. We're just excited to try it. So I'm gonna try the baked potato as well. Let me see.
Go ahead and get into that. Yeah. Make sure you get one of them Cajun green beans too. Eat
No,
your
I'm
vegetables.
for sure.
A lot of y'all don't be eating your vegetables.
Very
I don't
important.
Like that.
Very
I
important.
don't like that.
Some protein and some starches.
And some vegetables.
And some, a post-workout meal. Perfect.
Vegetables. Eat your vegetables.
That's delicious.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That's delicious. That's
It's
damn
delicious.
good.
Okay, look, we did a little something.
And then look, for the people that don't like vegetables, we'll see. Of course, she put her foot in it. The green beans are delicious as well. Everything is delicious. Everything is delicious, as it should have been.
Right.
So, I do want to thank you guys. Every night, this is your second time doing the episode.
You already know. Thank you for having me back. I
Such a
appreciate
professional. And then Chef Damo, you did your thing. This is wonderful. We were excited to have you on, right?
I was
'Cause-
excited to be here. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
It's, y'all done seen these men, right? They're fine, child.
And the sauce is even better.
Look,
so
I
y'all
didn't
need to
hear
go
it
and
the
get
first time, so say it again.
They fine.
I told you such and such in middle school. I'm playing. No, but
Okay.
this is great. I think I'm gonna wrap the episode up. Or you want to wrap the episode? You're the host.
Listen, we could do it together. I think that you guys, thank you again for having me on.
For
thank
sure.
you, Chef Damo,
Thank
for
you.
letting me assist you.
This was good girl time. We had to keep you today in the kitchen.
Very much so, you guys. I want you guys to go out and get your City Boy barbecue sauce, okay? The original and the City Heat. It's at 2 locations. Daniel, do you want to tell them where they could get them?
So wonderful episode with 2 LA girls. Like she said, we have barbecue sauce at 2 locations right now. We're gonna start working on some more. One is Hank's Mini Market off of Crenshaw and Florence. And then the other one is Barbecue Land in Long Beach. So look them up. Follow us on Instagram. Also follow us on YouTube so you can watch this episode. This is gonna be a very good episode. This meal is delicious again.
How to keep your man 101 now, don't forget.
How to 10 steps on how to get married. And this is all 10. So like, subscribe, comment, and Chef Damo and Ebony, we thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having me.
For sure.
Act like you know how this goes.